providing intergalactic knowledge to our collective, to our divine masculine collective. And so we say thank you for coming in with your words of wisdom, with the messages that needs to come through. And lastly, we want to say thank you to our karmics, bloodline ancestors. We see you, we love you, we thank you for the lessons. We totally understand where we are coming from. And so we respect you, and we only send you love, lots and lots of love and compassion. Ashe. So welcome everyone. If you are new to my channel, this is me, the Infinity Midwife, coming to you once again. I hope you're taking care of yourselves, your minds, your hearts, and your entire being. Now, I said I was going to go live at 10 o'clock, and that's what I was hoping to do right on time. But, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and it's going to take the time it's going to take, I like to be on time, but sometimes, especially when it comes to divination, you can't force shit. You gotta let it unfold naturally, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I hope y'all beautiful people are taking care of yourselves, making sure that, you are standing in your truth all the way around. And, I like to start the ceremony but first. Just calling in the proper forces, the most benevolent forces to come through and to assist us and channeling the utmost righteous messages for the collective, for our masculine collective. Now, when I say masculine collective, I am ultimately speaking to all human beings that have ascended on this planet Earth and that are on their evolutionary journey, their evolutionary soul journey. So we are all comprised of masculine energies and feminine energy, in case you did not know. And so it is our responsibility. I want to say this, but, I feel like it is our responsibility to deal with the hurt and the pain that has been caused onto us. Let's not wait on any savior, because we are the savior we've been looking for. How's that for a change? There is no savior coming to save us. It is only our willingness to change and to accept that we can move forward and evolve on our evolutionary journey as souls. Alright? So, let me utilize my voice to first call in the proper forces to assist us. Oh yeah, mama. Oh yeah, mama. Oh yeah, papa. Oh yeah, papa. Oh yeah, mama. Oh yeah, mama. Oh yeah, mama. Oh yeah, papa. I want to say thank you for providing us with proper nourishment for the soul. Thank you for bringing us into the realization that we are worthy of love. We are worthy of your guidance. We are worthy of your intuition. We are worthy of your words of wisdom. We are worthy of transcending the lessons and coming in with full force transformation. How's that? How's that? So the moon is currently transiting in Virgo. It's actually ending its transit earlier on tonight. And so we are going to be entering, the moon is going to be entering the sign of Libra. And so why is this important to understand the transits of the moon? First of all, if you are not too familiar with astrology, I would highly recommend, because it is a science that studies the different planetary influences. Not only, we are all in an ecosystem, you see. When you understand that you are part of a whole You understand that everything that is being demonstrated and explained outside of you is also replicated within you. When you understand that you're part of a bigger plan. So therefore, planets are also demonstrated within yourself, right? Aspects of planets are also parts, or are also going to be influences in your daily life, depending on the date of birth, the time of birth, the place or the city or the country in which you were born. So all these are going to affect you wholeheartely. And if you're not aware of how the science work, I highly suggest that you get a book, Astrology for the Soul. I actually ordered mine, so I'm waiting for it to come in. And there are many, many other good author out there that talks about astrology. I do want to give a shout out to the Peace Dealer. The Peace Dealer is an astrologer online, and I strongly recommend that you tap into his channel, that you go and find out what he's all about. He read a few transits. Actually, he read my natal chart, and I think a transit at some point. So he highlighted a lot of things that happened to me in my past, in my present, and things that are going to unfold. So it's just, more awareness. Now, let's not trump free will, because we all have free will at the end of the day. We all decide to be right with the choices that we make, right? It can be explained in the stars that you are destined to be famous, but depending on the choices that you're going to take, it might take your whole life. It might take the next lifetime, or it might take you a few months if you're dedicated into putting in the work. And so again, what is the work? This is what we're going to find out. This is what we're going to find out tonight. Tonight. Okay. So I love y'all, people. I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for supporting me. So like I said, every Thursdays and Saturdays, I'll be doing lives on my YouTube. I'll try to be on time around 10 o'clock, if not 10:30. But we're going to be going live on those days. And we are going to be channeling messages pertaining to our divine masculine. And so when I say the divine masculine, ultimately I'm speaking of the part of us that has been, or that is fully, essentially masculine, right? So when I say masculine, I'm ultimately talking about your mind, because the mind is very analytical, it's very logical. It processes information, right? In the mind, that's where you hold the ego, right? So when you understand that the mind is ruled by essentially masculine essence, you will find out that your heart is ruled by feminine essence, and that your sexuality is the union of both, right? That's why we say mother, father, and son, right? In some religions, you will find that they wiped out the feminine and they counted her out. That's why you will have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. But even then, if you read through the symbology, because the Bible cannot be read in a linear manner, you have to have metaphysics type of training in order to understand and translate the actual meaning behind what it means, right? So let's get into this. First of all, we'll start with the angel messages pertaining to your son. Now, when I say your son, I'm ultimately talking about the identity, the ego, the one that you present to the world, the one that you're comfortable sharing to the world, right? The identity that you're fully comfortable sharing with the world. So let's see what are the messages that are coming through pertaining to your ego or to your identity. Let's go. Wow. So we got 6, 1, and 3. 6, 1, 3. I'm going to just show you so that y'all don't think I'm cheating over here. So 6, 1, and 3. So what this tells me is, well, first of all, if we look at the number 6, 6 speaks of expansion, right? The number that precedes it, it's the number 5. 5 speaks of chaos, discomfort. 5 speaks of change, right? Competition. But when you are going through a form of change, you are ultimately trying to rise into expanding more of yourself. So the number 6 here, from what I'm getting, is getting into expansion, moving from a place of discomfort into calmer waters, right? It speaks of recognition, success. It speaks of, as well, calming or getting to calmer waters after a hard or difficult period. Now, if you're listening to this live right now, know that you are at the right place. You have successfully moved on to bigger things or to a bigger understanding. That can also be expanding of the mind. Because today we are a Thursday, right? And we are talking about ultimately masculinity essence. Thor is a big fucking warrior. Okay? If you know of Marvel, if you know of science fiction, you will see that Thor walks around with what's it called? What's that word? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm forgetting the word. So whatever tool he carries with him, right? It holds a lot of power. That power is expansive in the sense that it expands, right? He can throw it and it can go, like, it can traverse universe, like it can go in the clouds, it can go to different, right? It travels. That's expansiveness. Expansive meaning EXPANSEVENESSS. SSS. That's funny. So number 6, right? You have moved on to a higher perspective. Maybe a higher perspective of what? Number 1, your identity. Right? You've come out of competition, chaos, change, to ultimately step into a new version of yourself. Now, I'm talking to all people. This is not just happening to men. This is also happening to women. Again, we are comprised of both essences. So when we talk about moving into a new identity, it can also mean moving into a bigger perspective of who you think you are at this time, at this point, right now. And so what it enables you to do with number 3, it enables you to create bigger, create bigger, wider, putting things into creation that are mostly that represents your fullness, that represents all that you are. You see, now, number 613, I want to take an example. When you understand the fullness of all that you are, right? You understand that you're comprised of both masculine and feminine essences. You understand that your body is a representation of all 13 planets and more, right? You understand the expansiveness of all your capabilities. And we've been programmed to believe that we are a limited individual, but we are an unlimited soul living in this limited body. But when you come to that realization, it is time for you to create what you were truthfully made to create, right? Which is a world that resembles the full expansiveness of your identity. You successfully stepped into the unknown. You successfully stepped into recognizing that truth within you. So meaning, if you're still struggling with a bit of fears pertaining maybe something you want to create because it might be seen as, or, you're afraid of people judging you, you're afraid of this, you're afraid of that. Just know that you need to deal with those fears, because those fears will keep you trapped. Those fears will disable you. into stepping into your greater self, into that new identity, into that new level. Okay, so that is the message pertaining to your ego or your sun. Okay, and now when I'm talking about your sun, I'm not talking about your child. I'm talking about the sun within. Okay. So now that I got the black dice, we're gonna tap into what is the angel message pertaining to your moon. Now, when I speak of the moon, y'all gotta understand we're talking about the intimate aspect of yourself that you do not present to the world, that you keep to yourself or to the ones that you love, or to yourself. Okay? So let's see, what is the message? What are the angels trying to message you today? Well, look at that. Look at that. So because we're talking about emotions, what I'm getting with this is number 5. Let me show y'all. Number 5, 3, and 4. What we're getting with this is emotionally, you could be still, holding on to certain beliefs about yourself. That is why maybe the sun within you is having a hard time grasping the concept of expansiveness, because emotionally you're still going through number 5. You're still going through the change. You're still, maybe feeling a bit reluctant into creating something that is going to stabilize you more into that truth, into that new perspective. Right? But what I'm also getting with this is, right, number 5 speaks of change. Number 3 speaks of creation. Number 3 speaks also of partnerships. You could probably feeling emotional about, reaching out to some people that may help you into your new endeavors. It can be, getting rid of, some people that used to be around you for the wrong reasons, right? So you're probably maybe a little stuck emotionally. And so it requires you to have courage and bravery and to standing in your truth. Face the things that makes you scared. Now, let me tell y'all something, okay? Because of where I come from, right, it's important to not forget where you come from, because that's going to enable you to see the red flags when they are presented to you. So because I know where I come from, ultimately, wow, 22 on the clock. All right. So ultimately what it speaks of is where I come from. I used to be a people pleaser because, again, of the beliefs that I had about myself, because of the environment in which I grew up. That was a constant reminder of the limited identity that I thought I needed to uphold about myself. Right? So people pleasing was something that I was used to doing because I started it very early on. And then I realized that, it's not helping me stepping into my greatest self, because, some things I want to do goes against, what society tells you to do. Right? So I'm coming into that awareness that I need to fully accept all that I am. And in being in that all that I am is not going to please a lot of people, right? Because people always have ideas of who they think you are. But ultimately it's what you think you are that really matters. Not what other people think. It's what you think you are that really matters. So it's in the dismantling of these limited beliefs about yourself that you take your power back into taking a stand, answering different to people that still wants to place you in these limited identities, right? Show up differently, speak differently, show yourself up like you wouldn't have done it before, because you are stepping into a new sense of your truth, your identity, your whole being, right? So that was the message that was the messages that we got from the angels. We say thank you. Thank you, dear angels, for coming through with your beautiful messages of truth and clarity. Ashe. Okay. Y'all, you know what? I said I wasn't going to. So now when I do my rituals, I get me some, some, because it really enables me to come into my body and to be stress free. But I did not start like this. When I started doing my rituals, I was really like clean. I wouldn't smoke weed. But I came to the realization that I can do both, right? And so I told myself that tonight I was going to try to do it without. So this is what I'm doing. Okay. It's funny. So let's go and tap into something else. First of all, are there any other messages that we need? Actually, no. Actually, no. Let me take a puff. That's funny. Right? It's all about integrity at the end of the day. You got to be comfortable being all that you are. Despite what people might think or say or feel, we out with this shit. We only walking with the real that stand by their own truth, regardless of what it looks like. So it is what it is. Okay. So what I'm getting, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be all that you are. And I'm talking to the masculines. I'm talking to my divine masculine. Now, the aspect of our masculinity, which represent the mind, right? Our mind can play games with us. I'll be the first one to tell you that. I'll be the first one to tell you that. So when you understand that your mind can hinder the change. See, let me tell you something. You see the statue right here? This is the tattoo. I got this tattoo on my wrist, but this is the real statue right here. This is Asaseya. She's the goddess of fertility. Now, for those that don't know, look at her head. See how big her head is? Let me show you her head. This is her head. It's big. This is her forehead. I got a big forehead too, but she cute. She got the thighs and the big ass. We love that. She's fertile as fuck. Okay, let me not curse. Well, let me curse. So, the thing about her head is, see how she has her eyes closed? Let me just show y'all real quick. See how she got her eyes closed? Her eyes are closed. She have her arms extended. Her belly is out. She's naked. But you see how her mind is not stopping her from being in peace. She's the goddess of fertility. She's constantly creating. She's constantly in that creative mode. So she's not really preoccupied by, the earthly matters. She's not preoccupied by the earthly matters. So therefore, she enables herself to be in her body. See how big of her thighs? Look at her thighs. Like, she got big thighs. Why do you think that is such? Because she is grounded in all that she is. Nobody can destabilize her because she is the goddess of fertility. She will know. She's not going to wait for nobody to give her the right to create. You understand? She's not going to wait on anybody to give her the permission to create beautiful creations. And look at how black she is. That's the soil. That's our divine mother. Hello. Okay. So why am I saying all of this? Because when you understand where you're coming from, okay, and that I'm not only talking to women over here, I'm talking to all human beings. If you know where you're coming from, you come from darkness. You don't come from the light. Oh, let me be clear now. This woman who you are looking at, she's not the white Madonna. You have not heard something or somebody call the white Madonna. You will never hear something as such. So let us be truthful. She is black now. Why would you be afraid of black? Why would you be afraid of blacks? If you are black and you have certain insecurities about your blackness, you need to address that. And quick. I'm serious. Because that is part of our identity. Why should we fear it? Right? So what does that say? What does that say to the other aspect of ourselves? That is the complementary, right? That is the complementary. That is also, I want to say, complementary is the perfect word. Because she complements the other aspect. Or he complements the other aspect. So, when you understand that she's the dark, he ultimately might be the light. Right? I mean, if y'all know the yin and the yang, she is the yin. He is the yang. The yang or the wand. Right? Replace the Y with the W. You get wand. Let me stop. Okay. So, all this to say, like, all this to say, if you know where you're coming from, ultimately you must recognize your truth. You're not coming from the light, you're coming from the dark. But we've been told all our lives, that you will be pure. Like, first of all, when you hear the word pure, what color comes to your mind? White. Pure. Listen up, guys. I want to share a story. I think I was like 9 or 8. Or maybe a little older, like 10. Okay? And I would go to the mosque. Like, my dad would force us to go to the mosque from like daytime to like afternoon. So from like morning to like afternoon to learn Arabic, to read the Quran, to really like infuse ourselves into the culture. That's what we would do. And we started it earlier. We started going there and we were like, 9, 10, 11, 12? Like, we were pretty young. But every time we would go, like, I would question the teacher. Oh my goodness. I was really bad, guys. Let me tell you. Like, I was sitting there and they're talking about like 72 virgin women that are gonna come down for every man that, whatever. And I'm like, excuse me. I'll raise my hand up. I'm like, excuse me. They're like, yes, Aisha. Oh, first of all, they didn't call me by my name. They said that my name was too African or too black to be considered Muslim. I was like, what? So what is that religion all about? So I was really like deceived, okay? I'll be honest. I was deceived with Islam. Because to me, it was not reflective of the faith that was infused in the book. It was just not. It was diluted, So, yeah, they called me by Aisha. And I was like, okay, cool. And because my younger sister had a weird name. So what did they do? They both call us Aisha. Aisha 1 and Aisha 2. I swear to God. So I was Aisha 1 or sometimes, I don't know. And then my sister was Aisha 2. So I was like, damn. Like, a religion shouldn't, judge you by your name. Are you serious? Or the color of your skin, right? And it's funny how today you're going to find a lot of, Muslims saying, oh, we're really open, especially Arabics. They're going to say they're very open blackness, to black people, right? We do not consider them as slaves. Yet, if you go to Libya right now, or if you go to Saudi Arabia, or if you go to what other places are, right? Aren't they still treating black people as slaves? Like, isn't there a whole market of people leaving their countries to go overseas just to find what? The American dream. The American dream. Welcome. This is the American dream. And here you are, you're like, show me, what is your American dream? I want to know. I'm going to call my mom. Don't start now. So here you are. You're the slave and you're like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. Nah, that's crazy shit. Next thing, like, you've never experienced that type of barbaric shit. Like getting fucked every night by different Arab men. You're a prostitute. You were probably a schoolgirl. Still being a nice, smiley little girl. Right? Always calling your auntie, hi, it's me, I have come. You're welcome, my daughter. You were a high school girl. And here you are in the rank of prostitution in the Middle East. Like, you can disappear tomorrow. No one will know. And so they're telling us that they do not treat black people as slaves. I mean, come on, y'all see, y'all, for real though, anybody that tells me that Saudis are not black, I'm going to like punch you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna come out real, okay? Like, Saudis, why do you think Saudi women hide their faces? I don't even know when that law got passed, but I'm sure Saudis are one of the rare tribes that are still, and I'm talking about the people. I'm not talking about the people that they've put in power, because those are fucked up people. Okay? I don't want to talk against nobody here, but I'm just saying. See, my water tribe ancestors are looking at me and they're like, yeah, right on. Yo, I'm supported. I want to say thank you to my ancestors. Y'all, this is the type of love I be saying. Like, y'all need to start developing your spirituality. If y'all haven't started doing that, y'all need to tap into that. So, for real, let me get back to my story. So next thing you know, this girl is in the Middle East getting fucked up. They're fucking her up. They're fucking her mental, her physical, everything, her emotion. Like, she's just upside down. And then she does not make it to the Mediterranean. So not only she's traumatized for life, she gets sent back. Hey, my friend. She has come back. Oh, what are you doing, my daughter? I thought you were saying you were going to America, you were going to England, You said that you have found good job. I want to chop the money now. What is going on, and the girl's like, what? Like, I've been fucked like 117,000 times, and you're telling me that where's my money? Are you serious? And then what happens next? She gets exiled. Nobody wants to talk to her. Nobody wants to look at her because she failed. She failed at what? Becoming a slave. My friends. We are getting serious. Please now. Somebody tell me. I have to stop. Oh, Lua, I have to stop. Yeah. So, this is funny. We're having fun. So, this is, like, for real. Like, imagine that, right? Her family is turning her down because she failed at being a slave, at allowing those men to continue to rape her, put her down, call her names, like completely destroy her. she comes home and she gets the biggest, I don't know how many swords now. I don't know. Hey, Air Tribe, you want to tell us how many swords? They say 10. Okay. So they, so 10 swords, but I think that it's 10, 10 times 10 type of sword. So she gets pushed away from her parents. And what? Now she has to do what? What is she going to do now? She have come home and they have pushed her away. Do you understand the emotion behind this? Like, I'm actually feeling all the emotions that she is going through as I'm telling you the story. But I cannot be telling you the story, or if I'm not focused, you understand? I cannot be telling you the story like that. You understand? I have to be tapped into, you understand now? You understand. So, I'm feeling all the emotions that I'm telling you that she's feeling right now. Okay? And how about she finds that now she's pregnant? Oh, my daughter. No. No. God forbid. No. Right? Okay, so now that we heard the girl's story, okay, like, we have a lot of heart, of compassion. We understand that it has not been easy, right, in the Middle East, right? She thought that she was going to, first of all, find the American dream, and then come back and realize that her own parents don't want her. And now she has to fend for a child coming in very soon. I don't know. I don't know how the story ends. I don't know now. But we will continue. We shall continue. Guys, yo, I need to stop. Nah, they're telling me to continue. No. Okay. So now, y'all are understanding, right? We got to think about the man that leaves. Because woman, she's being exiled. Maybe she's going to find a village. And, like, she's going to find ways. And, nowadays you have actual, organizations that take care of those that come back. Because there has been so many in the last decade. 20 years, 30 years, people been trying to leave. But please now, tell me something. That's a small anecdote. Please, I want to know. If you've been leaving this country that you say is poor, but the food is in the ground, the minerals are in the ground, you have water, you have everything to grow food, but your hands now, they are too pretty. Look at your fingers. You are going to go and work the soil. That is small job, for country people. We are civilized now. Why are we going to dirty our hands? I've gone to school, I have done school now. Why? And you're like, yeah, you're right. You're like, you're right. Right? So, where was I? Yo, I'm in 2-3 different stories, guys. I need to stop that shit. For real. Yo, okay. So, let me just finish this. Right? People refuse to work the soil. And the soil is rich in everything. Right? Because of what? The prices have gone up. The local prices have gone up. For real? Yes, but our governments, they cannot control it because they do not control the country. You understand? Okay, see. I understand now. All this to say that people have been exiling their country for now maybe 2 decades. If we don't do shit about it, I'm telling you, in 30 years from now, you're gonna go on African soil and there's going to be fucking flags from different part of the world, right? You're gonna have like You're gonna have a passport to come in. Yeah. You know, I'm seeing this shit clear. Yeah. Thank you. That's my air tribe. Yes, thank y'all. Yeah. So people are gonna be landing on original African soil, with different countries owning the land. So you have China that has like 60% of the land, and then you have the US with like a 25, and then you have Russia that has like a 40, right? And then you have like all the other countries that are trying to grasp the land. And here we are, living the American dream. For real? Yes, okay, 1044. Yes, so all this to say, people don't want to work the soil. People don't want to work the rich fucking soil. Like, we got the richest soil ever. Do you know what we can invent? They are throwing their garbage on our soil and we are changing them into gold. Imagine our soil, Yeah. African lands are like mine golds. What are we doing? We are sitting on fucking gold. And here we are. We want the American dream. We are going to kill ourselves to go get the American dream. But the American dream is right underneath your feet. But you refuse to work. Go and get yourself a house that you, your children, and your grandchildren won't even finish to pay. My friends. We can create everything with the soil. Everything. Like, tap into, am I going to say this for real, guys? Tap into technologies. Yeah. Tap into technologies that, yes, some have been discovered, but some not now. I hope I'm talking to good people with good intentions, because karma is a bitch, okay? Karma is a fucking bitch. Like, let me tell you. Like, we are headed in a times of balance and justice. So those that are still thriving to do the injustice on the land, this is why you find tsunamis, earthquakes. Shit is moving around. The axes are changing. We are not going to be in the north soon. The north will become what? The east. Or the west. We don't know which direction. But it is changing now. So, all this to say, like, we need to come home. Quick! All of y'all black people, like, organize shit. I don't know. I got an idea. So reach out to me if y'all want to know. Okay? I'm just saying. I'll put it out there. I'll put it out there. So, yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm courageous. I'm ready for everything. Yo, I'm ready for everything. I'm ready for everything. At this point in my life, let me tell you something. I'm ready for everything. Yeah. You want to take my house? Go. Take... I'm ready for everything. So all this to say, guys, yo, I'm jumping lines here. Yo, I gotta stop. We need to go back to Africa. All this to say, like, see, I didn't even know what I was talking about prior to talking about Africa. Yeah, so the slave. Okay, the slave girl. Yes, thank you. So the slave girl. Now let's transcend that information. Right? The same emotions, the same situation that is happening to a man. That is happening to a man. I'm going to say something, y'all. When a man is traumatized, he is traumatized. Like, women, when we are traumatized, like, we go dark. We go dark. That's why the soil is more attractive to women, because we know we're from there. We're walking with a whole universe within ourselves, right? And now people want to change the narrative and say that now men can have the same womb that was given by nature to have it implanted in your space, right? So they're probably gonna move some intestines. They're probably gonna like have to change some bone structures. Like it's gonna go deep. Like it's already happening, but like it's gonna get at another level. All this to say that that we should definitely start looking at men that suffers. When women suffer, we get into the soil. We're gonna get into the soil, meaning we're gonna go in the soil. Some are gonna go in the soil with vengeance in their hearts. Some women are gonna go into the soil with vengeance in their heart. It's like a seed. After it has been in the light, it has been planted in the soil, but it got burned on the way down. It got burned on the way down. Hey. It's gonna go into the soil with hurt, right? Probably wanting to die, feeling like the worst of pains in all parts of your fucking body. It's like something is pulling on your neck, something is pulling on your on your arms, something is pulling on your legs. It's like you're feeling like you're being you're being transformed now. What do you think happened in the cocoon when a what's it called? A caterpillar starts transforming? Like it has to shed, like to change the structure, like the bone, even if it has a bone, I don't even know, but like the muscular structure, they have to get rid of their legs because they don't have that many legs. Butterflies don't have that many legs, and they're gonna have to like really like allow themselves to die. Yo, I'm gonna say something right before we go back to our story. See, the spider is gonna fake his death when it's in presence of danger. Okay, that's his way of dealing with external predators. He's gonna pretend like he's dead, like he's gonna trick you. This is what spiders do. And then when you feel that, okay, they're dead, they're gonna go back at moving, and they're probably gonna come. They're probably gonna want to retaliate. Like that's what spiders do. Yeah. Scorpios, I love you. Y'all are strongly expected in my chart. So y'all, I feel y'all. So yeah, like vengeance. Vengeance is a motherfucker. So women that go into the soil, or I want to say intentions that goes into the soil, that are filled with hate, with anger, with grief, with shame, with, you know, all these feelings that make us feel like we want to die. Like it goes into the soil. What do you think it's gonna do in the soil? It's only gonna want to get deeper into the soil. And there are levels, right? It's the underworld. There are levels into the soil. Now, people that are trying to drill into the earth to find the deepest. Who has watched this movie? It's a science fiction movie. It's about the NASA, and they're trying to get to the middle of the earth, and they succeed. Je veux même pas rentrer dans ce film. Non. What is that movie? They were a group, I think of like 5. They had recruited 5 individuals, and then they were sent to the middle of the earth, or the center of the earth. I don't know what that movie was called, y'all. But the way, first of all, it's a submarine, right? It has to hit the water. It has to hit the water. Now, when men penetrate women, we're grown folks over here, okay? We gonna talk how we won't talk. I ain't inviting y'all children to listen to this. My children are asleep. Now let me stop. We grown folks over here. So when men are penetrating women, what do you think they feel? They feel like a water gushy, like something that sucks them in, right? That's the first. Have you ever tried to dive into water? That's like your whole body going through a suction, right? And then it has to hit the bottom before it goes back out again. That's suction. Ay, ay, ay. So when men are entering a woman, like that's the representation. Like when the submarine is like entering the water, like they are in the like lower or they're under the surface, right? They're not that far in. And then what happens when they go deeper? They go deeper, they go deeper, they go fucking deeper. Like, okay, now we're not talking about deep strokes. No, that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. So have y'all ever watched that movie? It was with John Travolta and wait, what's her name? Sandra Bullock? No, not Sandra Bullock. Oh, what's her name? Anyway, she was cute. Anyways. Oh my god, let me stop. So what's her name? Yeah, so it's a movie about like how children are made and how they talk in the belly, and then when they grow. Was it with John Travolta? I think so. Anyways, it was an old movie. It was like a whole representation of what the sperm does. So when the sperm enters the vagina, it's swimming. It literally has to swim, right? And then what happens when the sperm is swimming further into the canal? Because we call it a fucking canal. Use your fucking mind. No, I'm just fucking. Like they call it the canal, like the vagina canal. So the sperm is swimming up the canal, right? But as he is swimming into the canal, what happens? Some die off. Why? Because they're not that strong. The strongest of the strongest survive. Have you ever seen first of all, have you ever seen a penis? Yes. Okay. Have you ever seen a documentary with like actual sperm? The way it is, let me put my finger so y'all can see. Let me stop. Y'all, I'm somewhere else tonight. So when you see like wiggle the sperm, how does the head look like? An octopus, right? An octopus or what's the other word? Anyways, there's one that has 8 tentacles, and then there's one that has 10. Now there's a difference there, a major difference. That's why it's important to watch documentaries about animals. Animals are replicates of part of our bodies, part of our mental bodies, our psychological bodies, of our emotional bodies, of our sensual bodies, our sexual bodies. Like they all have characteristics of features that are representative of our inner world. Y'all, that's why we need to watch documentaries. I love watching documentaries on all kinds of things. That's what I used to do, like from like 15 to 17. Like we used to have like the old computers, like the 80s or the 90s computer, and you used to have like the cable to stick it in the box and then stick it behind the computer so that you can get the cable internet, and then you would have to like hear the dial and go beep 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 before it connects. I was on there looking at documentaries. There was a site, oh my God, if I could recall that website, there was full of documentaries in there and all types of them. That's how like I was really into wanting to know about the occult. I was always versed into the occult, but not to hurt people, because the way I was conditioned, I was always in service of people. So it was not even something that crossed my mind, into knowing these knowledge. It was just because I had the intention of remembering who I was and where was I coming from, damn it. And so anyways, all that's to say, like, we can all thrive to know where we're coming from. So again, when you watch documentaries going back to the octopus, going back to the sperm wiggling into a woman's womb, the more they are swimming inside the canal, at some point, the sperm is going to die off. Some of them are going to die off. And there are billions in there, right? Like just one small jet are like a whole population of them. So they are swimming up the canal, and then they have to go into the ovaries, right? Yes. So like, it's like V's. So, you know, when you look at the sign Venus or even the letter V, it's like representative of the vagina. Like, not all this is coincidental. Let me be clear, my friends. So languages were invented so that communication can happen. And what's funny is we all have a way of communicating. We all have a way of receiving information, analyzing information. Some people are so anal about information, they absolutely need like to study to get some form of confirmation about where they think they come from. Like, that's how anal they are, like, for real. But it's not just about studying what has been written already, because it has been written. Someone created it. It was a creation, a beautiful one that probably taught you some things. But when you think about it, like, someone actually sat down and put in the work, the effort, the sweat, the belief into whatever it was creating. And it was created, whether it was a book, whether it was a person, whether it was furniture, something that we use, something that we eat. It was all creations, right? Like pastas. Who thought of creating pastas? Italians? I want to know. Where does that originated from? Pastas. Like, pastas is like the basic thing that unites all human beings. Like, I don't know, wherever you go on this earth, whether it's Canada, whether it's the States, whether it's South America, North, somewhere, Hawaii, Alaska, Middle East, Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, right? The whole continent. You find that they all have some similarity. They use water and they use earth. I'll say that again. They use water and they use earth. And they combine it together. It makes bread, pastas. It can make, what's it called? Porridge. You can have it under any types of forms. But it's the original. It's like the staple of a people. Right? Man, why am I talking that much? I'm saying thank you. I'm saying thank you. Thank you. It's because I have to process the emotions while I'm talking to y'all, because it's heavy. It's heavy. Okay. I'm just trying to bring in some humor because, you know, it's a good time to be alive, you know. Let's be hopeful. Let's be hopeful. So, for real. So, imagine men going through something that African woman has gone through. And he has to come back and face his family. He is also going to be exiled. But the way he's going to live it is going to be different. He's going to feel like a fucking failure. The girl's going to feel it too. But they're going to be felt differently. Yeah, it's different. It's really different. Because of how we've been conditioned in this society, right? Men are seen as the staple of a family, right? They cannot be exchanged easily. You're not going to be able to sell a man over to someone else. Like, they don't do that. right? They hold the family structure together. They make sure that when they move together. Men are like, we've been programmed to think that men are the staple. Okay, they are the one that protect. They are the one that won't show mercy when there has been an external betrayal, right? They are the ones that are there to protect. I'll say that again. But only will they understand how to be protective when they've become protective of themselves. That is super important. You cannot protect someone if you have not come to the realization that you are worthy of protection. Because people are going to use you. People are going to abuse you. People are going to do shit to ruin you if you have not seen how worthy you are. So it's important. It's important for us to come to that conclusion. We are worthy. Worthy. We are super worthy. Worthy of being protected. Worthy of being loved. And that's the message that I want to say to my masculines today. You are worthy. You are worthy of feeling the utmost good feeling within your heart. You're worthy of looking at yourself in the mirror and looking yourself sexy. Okay? Look at yourself and be like, oh, damn, I'm on point like that. I don't know how you talk to yourself. You might talk to yourself like, I don't know, like you're a girl. For real. Now, I'm serious. And there's no prejudice in what I'm saying. For real, for real, for real. No prejudice here. You can be a man. And because you accepted that you are from the soil, you are from the earth, so therefore you shouldn't fear the feminine because she's within you. And then you start appreciating yourself. You start, taking care of yourself. I don't know how you like to take care of yourself, but you start taking care of yourself. Meaning you're not putting because of your choices here. Okay? We all got free will. We all got free will. Okay? So you can choose to stay in that space of feeling like a fucking failure. Or you can choose to be like, you know what? I'm not a fucking failure. You know what I've been through? Have compassion for yourselves, guys. Yo, let me start with the cards. Let me start with the cards. So yes, it's important that the masculine right now takes care of himself. And it can be like a monologue. I like to do dialogues. So, okay, here's a little tip, guys. Open up your ears. Guys and girls, okay? You know what I do? When I stand in front of the mirror, I call myself baby girl. Not because, I like to call myself baby girl. But because I feel like baby girl would be how I would want my man to talk to me. Yeah. It's funny, but it's the truth. Baby girl is cute. I like baby girl. And it doesn't have to mean that, baby and girl. You know what I think when I hear the word baby girl? I hear the word you've transformed from a baby to a girl. You're a baby girl. But I'm also the fucking high priestess. Watch out. Watch the fuck out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let me stop. Yo, for real. What I'm trying to say is when you look at yourself in the mirror, have the same love if you are a man a woman would want for you. Now, when I say, the type of love that you would want for a woman to give you because you're a man, you're in this body, biologically you're a man, you're thinking, okay, when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't look at you. So you can be talking to the third person, to the first person. It depends. You can be talking to the plural too. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, you can talk to you just like I would say right now, I love you. I really love you. I think that you're an intelligent girl. You're an intelligent woman. I love you because I see your truthfulness. I see that, you're sincere when you talk to me. And then this is you reflecting to you in the mirror. But you stepped into a character. And that character is representative of the reflection that you have in front of you. Right? And that's just opening up the space to the possibility that you are actually talking to that other half of your soul that is with you, because you are part of one, divided in two. So going back to the story, wait. It's coming. Trust me, it's coming. So a man's sperm is like an octopus, right? And the more it advances in the canal, what does it do? It dies. It dies because of what? It is not as sturdy. It is not coming with its full capacity of being the one that's going to protect the egg. It's probably feeling defeated already. Oh my God, how long is it going to take? I mean, I've been swimming in here. I don't know. I cannot find the light. This is dark in this bitch. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, for real. And, right? And then the one or the few ones that got to the egg, what do you think they had to rely on? They did not have eyes. I'm sorry. If someone tells me like they did a study and they found out 11:11 on the clock that the actual sperm have a set of eyes, don't. If that study comes out, let me know. A sperm with a set of eyes, a nose and a mouth and some ears to hear the whole frequency of where the egg is. Yo, for real though, if that comes out in a study, let me know. But a sperm is I don't think so. It comes with a set of senses that are vibrational. It's a vibrational frequency. The one that is going to succeed in entering the egg is going to be a vibrational match to that egg. That egg being the ultimate creation. So the sperm serves as what? The fucking gatekeeper. He's the fucking protector, making sure that shit ain't happening. Right? Praying for you. And it's funny. So there are reflections. Yo, let me stop in my tracks. Let me stop. So, so all this to say, okay, when the egg and the sperm are vibrating at the same frequency, they are a match. So no matter how much they started off with, which is 3 billion, right? Aren't we like 3 billion, 3.5 billion of human beings? So a man that ejaculates comes with the potential of 3 billion, 3 billion sperms. That's some fucked up shit. That's why they say when a man ejaculates, what happens? He dies, like a part of him dies. That's why they say it's a small death. So every time a man ejaculates, like a part of him dies. So in order for men to revive their sexual selves, like their lower chakra, right? Where insecurity is being ruled, where fear is very potent. That's your root. That's at the spine. That's your sex. If that has not been healed, the rest cannot arise from it. So today we have a whole agenda of changing men into women that is going to do what? What is it going to do? What type of creations are we going to bring in? Like, have you ever thought about this? Okay, yes. Like, we're talking about humanity here. Right? In a few years, you're going to hear if it hasn't already started. That's why I like watching movies, because movies tell you 50 years in advance what is to come. So if you watch Metropolis, that's a fucking old movies, the 1920s. You need to watch that movie. That talks about MK Ultra putting people to sleep. All right, let me stop. So all this to say, like, what are going to be the types of humans, if not a new kind or a new breed of humans? One of artificiality. So, yeah, they already started with clones, but it's going to get breeded differently this time, because they have, like, anyways, I don't know if you've watched a movie. It's a horror movie about, like, little children with white eyes, like they're all dressed in white. Yo, that's an old movie, and that's a scary movie too. I don't even know why I'm talking about that, but for real, if y'all watch that movie, like, they burned down a whole town and their children. Yo, that movie was made in the 80s. They were telling you what was coming right now. They put stuff in movies. That's why you need to get comfortable with metaphysics and the occult, because you cannot know what's going to happen in the light if you have not gone to the dark. And because it is hidden in the dark, it is not in the light. The light has already come out. It's in the light. People see it, but they don't see when it's in the dark. So the sperm has a set of eyes, not his eyes. He has sight, but he doesn't have ears. He has taste, but he doesn't have a mouth. Right? He has his 5 senses, but they are not in the physical. So what are they? Somebody tell me. Right? And then it's because it's wiggling like a fucking frequency, a radio frequency. Have you ever seen, like, the heartbeat when they show you on I don't even know what's it called, the machine? Like, it goes beep, beep. They're calculating the heart rate. And then when it vibrates faster, what happens? The body goes into shock. So the sperm is a representative of someone who's going through a fucking shock, because it has been released. You know the speed at which the sperm is released? Because it comes with a fucking life force. It's like filled with electricity. Okay? So when it hit the waters of the womb, she gets a shock. It's like electricity or lightning hitting water. Like, it can be... je vais même pas rentrer là-dedans. No. So, all this to say, like, a sperm is coming in with a frequency. Now, some can be shady. Some sperms are fucking shady because they come with the fucking wrong intentions. They're like seeds. They're seeds of intentions. Woman is different. Okay. Let me stop. So they're going to be vibing on a frequency throughout into the waters until it hit the egg. And when it hit the egg, it's going to merge with the center of the earth or the egg. And what is it going to do? It's going to do like an explosion, like a big bang. And what is it going to do next? It's going to start multiplying. When I say multiply, they realized that they are part of one and the same. They were the strongest. They were the most agile. they kept on vibrating on the same frequency. They did not get distracted. They had a fucking discipline. They had to swim fast. Understand? To swim those hot, murky, dark waters. So the whole process of creation, when it comes to human beings, speaks of what happened in the universe. But it's actually the internal story that is the original story. So when men are hitting the dark waters of woman, what unfolds? A child, a baby. Okay? And the baby is what? Is a representation of both of them coming together. Now, baby, right? When we understand what baby means. What is a baby? Baby. Hey, baby. Baby. Yo, let me stop. Let me stop. Yo, for real though. Hey, fire tribes, y'all need to calm down. I ain't channeling none of that here. No. We ain't gonna do that. That's gonna be on my OnlyFans. Y'all are interested? Come into my OnlyFans to channel the feminine. Oh, we gonna have fun. We gonna have fun. So for real, let me go back to what I was saying. So a baby is usually a focus. It's a focal point. It's a goal. But it's a goal that is being met by two parties. One is the egg, the other is the sperm. When they come together for the same goal, whatever that goal is. And then what happens? When they come together for the same goal, they start multiply. Some, it can be actual babies. Some, it can be a business idea. Some, it can be a partnership. Some, it could just be your soul tribe. Mon ami, mon ami. So actually what is happening right now is because we are coming into a time of waking up to the truth that we are from that darkness, it's going to bring a lot of information out. People that have been diving into the occult to mistreat the original, to hurt, to abuse, to exploit the original. So it's important to understand when you are from the original, you cannot accept people that are still swimming to go to the other side. Y'all need to talk to them. For real. Y'all government need to wake up. Start creating infrastructures. Stop running after external wealth. If you can waiver some money back into the country, if you can apply different laws like they did with what's his name, the guy in Madagascar, no, what's it called, what's his name, the guy who started, the president who started writing politics so that the Africans of the land can actually have land. What was his name? I forgot. So what I'm saying is it's time for us to get serious. Like, our land is being hijacked left and right. But only when you realize that you're part of the original, that you start treating yourself as an original. Hey, that's a line. I copyrighted it. If ever I hear it in somebody's mouth, I'm coming for y'all. For real, for real. 11:22 on the clock. Like, I'm not even playing. We ain't playing that game. I worked too damn hard. Trust. So yes, stay consistent. Stay. What inspires me about you is your, how do you say that? Rigoureux in French, but in English is, I want to say strength, but I also want to say faith. When you don't have the sight, when you can no longer rely on your sights, the ones that you used to rely on with your eyes, your ears, right? Only hearing the things that you think are perceptible through your mind's eye, right? So you see without your eyes. You hear without your ears. You smell without your nose. You taste without your taste buds. You know without knowing. What did I just say? You know without knowing. Okay. You heard. You know without knowing. So when you understand that, you understand that you're one from the same. You're one from a whole. Okay. So yeah, have faith. You're going to be tested. Rely on your inner sense with your heart, how you feel. And it's important right now, if you have not started journaling, my friend, start writing or speaking or expressing whatever you are feeling. You know what I do? I speak to my guides. And I tell them whatever I'm feeling. And people, my children can hear me. They cannot hear me. I don't care. That's vital for me. It's a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. So, we all have non-negotiables. So all this to say, when the sperm and the egg come together, they have the same goal. They're vibrating at the same frequency. They ultimately create a baby. But that baby can be anything that they put both of their minds to it. And it will multiply. It will create what? Wealth. Because in a woman's womb, you do just not have one egg. You do not have one egg. But you need to be on course. Right? You need to recognize the cycles. Because only when you recognize the cycle that you can then trap her with a baby. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Let me stop. It's important to be clear on what it is that you want at this time. And the things that you want, you focus on it to move forward. Action, discipline, consistency. And it's your lifestyle. It's nobody's lifestyle. Like for real, like my lifestyle, it's a lifestyle of luxury. It's a lifestyle of luxury. Thank to God and my ancestors. But it was not that easy in the beginning. In the beginning was not that easy. So it's important to give thanks to those dark forces that are working for us on the other side. When I say dark forces, I'm not talking about the devil. I'm talking about those that are doing the job that we do not see. Our ancestors that died, that love us very much dearly. Our grandma, our grandpa, our dad, our cousin, our pet, a plant that died, a baby that you had to abort or that you had to lose, a child. The list goes on and on and on. So when you think about that, you have to die a part of yourself to become who you greatly want to be. And it's going to take efforts on your parts. You talking truth to yourself. You feeling exactly all that you are feeling. And that is the only way that you are going to pass. You are going to pass the vagina canal and get to that seed. And when you get to that egg, you plant good intentions and it's going to multiply. Understand? But you need to do that with yourself first. You cannot do it at someone else if you have not mastered that yourself. Because we have come here onto this realm individually. Even twins. Twins, it's a little tricky. But aren't we spiritual twins? Don't we all have like a spiritual half of ourselves that is living somewhere, but is ultimately living within us? So when I talk to my divine masculines, yes, I'm probably talking to some men or I'm probably talking to some women, depending on how are you moving in that time and space. Again, right now, the moon is in Virgo. How you're moving emotionally, how you're moving spiritually, how are you moving into the unknown, how you're moving into the darkness is going to enable you to swim faster, to get to that egg and to plant good seeds and multiply. Or it might give you somewhere else. You know what they say. Oh, I don't know what they say, but the sperm died. Not all of them made it, and just one. Just one. So you see the chameleon? You have to adapt easily in many situations. Okay. So imagine that. You're a sperm. You're swimming in that canal. And what? What happens? You have like 4 or 5 in front of you, and you have to make sure that you're not going to bump into one of them, because it looks like a Mario Bros game where if the cart bumps into another one, it spins over and over and over, and you get angry and you get mad. You get mad when that happens. Oh my God. That's what happens, right? You spin in that cart and you're like, damn it. And it takes about 15 seconds to bring you back to where you were at before actually derailing out of the tracks. Like, for real though? No, I'm just saying. So you're a sperm and you're swimming in the multitude of sperms that are swimming with you. What are they going to have to do? They're going to have to adapt. Those that cannot adapt and move away from the 6 or 3 billions of other sperm that are swimming with you, you're going to have to adapt to swim, to move in between obstacles, move in between other ones that are crashing into one another. Like, it's going to be messy because it's going to be dark. You're going to be in darkness. So if you cannot adapt, it is going to be hard, though. It is going to be hard. The mouse. Tu as le souci du détail. Oh my fucking God. Yo, for real though? Thank you. Wow. This is the Virgo card. Like I said, the moon is transitioning in Virgo. Virgo is very analytical. Virgo gets down to the fucking detail. Virgo is almost a perfectionist. Virgo, those are the characteristics of Virgo. Virgo loves beauty so much that it will want to correct beauty. So at some point, it's going to ask itself the question, like, fix it a little bit. I think it needs fixing. And sometimes, depending on where you have Virgo in your birth chart, Virgo can influence you in having some of those traits minimally to exponentially influencing you because of where it is situated in your chart, right? So Virgo came out tonight for you guys. So it says you have worry for detail. You like things to be perfect. But let me go back to my sperm swirling in the story. If you are having a sense of perfection and you're swimming in that whirlpool of other sperms, you gonna get stuck. Like, you gonna get stuck. You know what I'm trying to say? You gonna get stuck. You need to unstuck yourself and continue swimming. Now, when I say my divine masculine, I'm also talking to women, because some women come with that thinking too. Some women are very detail oriented, right? They're going to look into your life until they find something that they can use against you at some point. No, Virgos, no shade. Yeah, 11:33. Yo, Virgos, no shade. We love you. Like my son is a Virgo. And there's always an aspect, right? There's always duality in everything. So when you have like the righteous Virgo, you also have the evil Virgo. Depending on how influenced it is on your birth chart. Not to say my son is evil, no. But he has some tendencies. Like, I need to show him that I know darkness, because yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so the last card is, so knowing, like, what are you actually spending most of your time right now? That is where you're going to expend. If you're spending some time on focusing on little details that aren't bringing you that peace, that aren't bringing you that unconditional love, that aren't bringing you that sense of warmth and relaxation, then you're not focusing on the good things. Or you're focusing too much on the details. You understand? You have to focus on the bigger picture. This is what the mouse is saying. Do you see how small it is? Do you see how small it is? How long does it take for your eyes to catch a mouse running? Your eye twitch. Or you have the side eye. You don't even know where the mouse went. This is funny. So it's important to, don't stand in your own way. Don't focus too much on the details. You have an idea, do it. You need something, ask. And when I say ask, I'm ultimately ask your internal space. However you want to call it. God, universe, the ultimate source, the most high, Mama Gaia, Papa, whatever. Father, like whatever name you give it to, it holds its power. It has to come with the belief that the power is coming from within you. If you're still thinking about that power that is external of you, you're going to be led into being motivated into doing some actions that are external of you. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Ultimately, you have to come in alignment with your heart, what you feel. Because when you have forgiven yourself from feeling bad shit about you, you forgive yourself and you keep on loving yourself. Many ways to do that. When you recognize that part of yourself that needed love, reassurance, tenderness, you needed sweetness, but you needed to first give it to yourself. Acknowledge that it was only going to be you that's going to give it to you. You understand now. When you receive from you, you can give to someone else. You understand? You understand now? If you don't give to you, you will not receive from you, and you will not be able to give it to someone else because you're too focused on the details. You understand? You have to go with the intention. What does your heart feels? And when I'm talking to you guys, I'm also talking to me. Because believe it or not, we all have our little, what I want to say, it's not, we're not maniacs, but like we all have our little pet peeves. Something that bothers us about ourselves or about someone else. And until we haven't made peace with it, we haven't forgiven that person, we have not forgiven ourselves for whatever reason, our heart is still going to be blocked from receiving the blessing that it needs to receive in order for us to be guided into being led by what our heart feels is right for us. Only then can we go towards that frequency that is going to multiply for us. So the more you give to yourself, without being perfect, look at yourself now. When you say to yourself you love you, do you have to be perfect in saying it? You just say it. I love you. I love you. You say that to yourself. Say it many, many times. Go into the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, I'm fine. But I'm not just fine. I'm sexy, I'm intelligent, I'm smart. My mind works miracles when I speak. I know I'm blessed. I know I'm secure in all parts of myself. I know I've accepted all parts of myself. That's words of affirmations. And when you look at yourself in the mirror and you keep repeating those things, it's like you're sending a boomerang that is coming back to you. Ultimately is what you're doing. You're reflecting. Some people, when they send a boomerang, they send it and it is not returning, or because they are not sending it to the right person. And last but not least, your optimism. Be optimistic. Continue to talk love. Continue to talk hope. Continue to talk positive things. Continue to talk gratitude. Sometimes I can go into a whirlwind of ideas in my mind and I'm like, no, I'm happy I'm here. Thank you. I'm super, super grateful to my ancestors. And then I put a song that reminds me of them. And I sing that song and I'm good and I feel good. Okay? Like that is super, super important to continue feeling optimism about yourself. Not for no one, or for you. You deserve it. My friends. So those are the cards for tonight's messages to my divine masculine, to the divine aspect of all of ourselves that we are dealing with on a daily. We've been conditioned to believe that men, if we look at the analogy of men are very detached. They're not in a position to want to tap into their emotions because they've been conditioned very early on, whether it's through some form of trauma or conditioning, to be cut off from their feminine. If you've been circumcised, there's a big chance that you are having issues dealing with your emotions. If you're not circumcised, but you've been traumatized some other way, or you've been conditioned to believe something about yourself because you were reminded, you were constantly being reminded that you weren't good enough. Because if you were good enough, that person would be here. If I was good enough, my mom would love me the way she was supposed to. If I was good enough, my dad would have come and meet me to know who I am. If I was good enough, my dad would have stayed with my mom. If I was good enough, like these are all the type of wording that we can have when we talk about ourselves, right? When we talk about ourselves, we can talk nasty to ourselves until we're like, cut it off, put some music and dance. That's your higher self, or maybe that's your inner child stepping in and be like, oh my God, you're so fucking dark. Put a music and dance. Like sometimes my son comes, not always my son. Like I don't wait for my son to remind me of how blessed I am. Okay. Like I wake up, depending on the type of shit I had to do on the other side, I wake up with an aftertaste and I'm like, and then I automatically remember, I go, thank you. I automatically go into gratitude mode. You want to start your day by saying thank you. Oh, some people did not wake up. You are waking up with a grudge. Some people have not even woken up, even a smile. So it's important for us to acknowledge that we are not alone. Like, when we say nobody's home, like there's a full population of people within you, and you're just, you're calling onto their soul because you have a soul tie with them for a lesson, for a purpose, for multiplying, so there are different type of people that you're going to attract. They're going to be there to teach you a lesson, or to go onto your journey to, what's it called? Judication. That's the word. Judication. That's the meaning of the word 11:44 on the clock. Judication means it's like justice being rendered because you've been through so much, and you went into that egg. Like, you were like David in front of Goliath. That's the analogy. You're small, you look small, you perceive yourself as small, and then you have to survive amongst the strongest. Goliath represents the whole, society, right? You're going against the norm. You're going against a system. You're going against a population, a community. You're going against something that is external of you that wants to push you into believing that you are a very limited being. And what happens in the end, though? What happens? He gets what? He gets to win. He gets to be rewarded because he fought the fight. He did not let go. Oh my God. So we got, this is a message from the Divine Feminine. And we got Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. So we've all suffered one way or another. And Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, is here to tell you that in recognizing how you've been suffering or how you've been feeling in that suffering, in that recognition, you're going to release it. But how do you recognize something? By bringing it into awareness, by speaking to it, by acknowledging it, by saying, expressing. And you cannot express if you're not creative, but everybody is creative, thankfully, one way or the other. Somebody's going to be with their hands. They can bake, they can cook, they can draw, they can knit, they can sew, they can do everything with their hands. Some people it's going to be their eyes. They can see, but they can not only see, they can see. The hands is the sense, touching. They feel when they touch. Right? That's a gift. Some others is their hearing, when they hear, but they do not hear what you think you are hearing, somebody talking to you. It can be sometimes somebody talking to you. It can be a frequency. It can be a song. It can be a word in a song. It can be something that you heard. It can be a word that was given to you while sleeping. It can be a reaction. It can be many things. Right? So we all are gifted differently, and we have to start being creative by expressing those gifts, however they unfold, because they're going to unfold differently from you, from me. Listen, I used to shy away from my own sexual power because of what I've been through. I held on to the idea that if ever I was to be in that position of controlling my own sexual power, I would be dead. But when I realized that I come from death, I shouldn't fear it, no. Who is going to fear it? You come from there now. You come from there. How are you going to fear it? Tell me. You come from death. You come from the soil. You come from darkness. It can hold as much as good, in brackets, connotations or intentions, as much as it can bring evil, depending on the intention of the seed. That's why it's important to start expressing whatever you're holding within so that it does not turn into an intention. The story of the Bible when the Christ turned water into wine. Ultimately, when we say he turned water into wine, it was what? His thought. He turned a water. So ultimately, it was a thought that came into his mind that enabled him to feel something that was attached to that thought, that memory, right? And it's in the feeling of that thought or the emotion that thought brought him that he was able to change it into wine. Now, what does wine do to your body? Now, I know what water does to your body. It stabilizes you. But if you are stabilizing yourself with thoughts that are destructive to you, what happens? If you are stabilizing yourself on thoughts that are destructive for you, what happens? You are stabilizing yourself on a castle of sand. It's going to crumble. You are going to crumble. You are going to crumble. So, in order to stabilize yourself, right? That water that has been stabilized with destructive thoughts, you change it into wine. What does wine does to you? First of all, there are tannins in wine. If you're not careful, depending, especially red wine, tannins in red wine will have you have a headache. I don't know I kind of know what it does in the body, but ultimately, it's like when you get a high, it raises up your dopamine and your serotonin levels. So you feel like you're high, right? When you smoke or when you get high, depending on how you get high. Now, there are different types of high. There are different types of high. Not everybody gets high off of anything. Okay, some people need strong shit. But I'm talking to those that can easily get off. They can get high off of life. So when you have that power of changing a watery feeling into wine, what does it mean? You are changing the feeling behind it. You are changing that feeling of feeling maybe hopelessness, feeling shame, feeling guilt, into doing what? Into receiving that feeling with love and compassion. You sit there, you're like, oh, I see how you feel. I see how you this. Sometimes I talk to myself. I be telling you, I know how you feel. Okay, we start talking. I talk. Why not? Who is going to judge? You don't like our talk? Move, move. So there's reason why you need to express. Some people, they draw. You need to allow your pen to work for you. If you sing, sit down and start writing or start chanting. Sing whatever brings you on that frequency of changing water into wine. This is how you're going to be able to get to your seed and plant intentions that are going to be fruitful and multiply. So when there's a thought that enters your mind, that brings you to a memory, that brings you to a feeling of that memory, that left you a salty or bitter taste. Love that bitter. Love it. Like, okay, I see you. I acknowledge you. Okay. But you know what? I love you still. I love you still. And while you do that, you have to breathe, because only your breath can enable for the wave of emotions to go through your body. Your feeling, it starts in the brain. It then communicates with the heart, and the heart communicates back with the brain. And it's a continual exchange of messages, communication. And then the more they vibrate at a higher frequency, right? Love is the highest frequency. You see me shaking the card? So it starts like this. The heart, the mind, the heart. The mind, the heart. Sometimes it's the mind and it does not move. That's when we are exclusively in our masculinity, in our masculine essence, right? But the more it goes like this, it flickles and it goes faster and it goes faster, and then it starts vibrating. It's no longer walking. Oh, it is walking on water. It is walking on water. Water no get enemy. Water is not your enemy. It's going to be vibrating like this between the heart, the mind, and the heart. And what happens then? The breath goes all the way into your sex. And what does it happen? What happens then? You are want to bust and ejaculate and create a baby, or you're going to want to make it circulate back into the mind. That's when you have tapped into the life force, my friend, and you are immortal. I'm just kidding. Yo, let me stop over here. Yo, we teaching over here, okay? This is why I will plug in the ad. Join me every Mondays and Fridays on my OnlyFans, when you can get exclusive content on how I do my teachings. Why am I going to be expressing the feminine? Find out. Come and meet me on OnlyFans. Saturdays, no, not Saturdays. Let me stop. Mondays and Fridays, I try to be in live around 10 p.m. But if you cannot be there, then come at a later time, because I'm going to be there, but surely around 10:30. Okay. And yeah. It's going to be a nice exchange, because ultimately these are the type of messages that I deliver. Ultimately, these are the type of teachings that I want people to get in contact with. We're one and the same. We just absorb information differently. So the person that I am understood that mission. Because again, I was programmed to believe that I was not who I remembered I was by ascending on this earth. I was turned away from my power very early on through trauma. And when you do not heal that trauma, when you don't heal the hurt, it is going to create patterns of reactions and feelings that's going to make you want to stay in your mind, not ever wanting to communicate with the heart, because the heart feels. But if you block your mind and you stay up here, what happens? You're not able to come down into the heart. The Disney story of the girl that's up in the tower that has to wait on her Prince Charming to come and save her, that's a fucking poison. I mean, that's why I'm not too much into Disney's, and I don't show my children Disney's. Like, they do make a prolific money, and they do make stories that looks appealing, that has a lot of colors, even the shapes of how they are made. They are made with psychology behind it because there is a goal. And the reason why it's important to educate ourselves, that is why you have to watch movies, you have to watch them and their symbology. You have to want to know what is the occult. If you don't know the occult, you are getting brainwashed by the occultists who use dark. They use darkness to try to destroy this earth. And that is why the earth right now is showing you. You have heard, if you have gone on my Instagram, I shared a song called Karma. Now let me tell you, I don't even know the lyrics to the song, but it's called Karma. And that's why the earth right now is rebelling against all the center points of her body that was aching with exploitation, that was aching with exploitation, that was wakened with exploitation, and that was weakened and aching through exploitation. And when I say exploitation, I mean it. This earth has been exploited. All the resources of the earth was exploited. And that is why there's a reset. Have you not ever seen the infinity symbol? The infinity symbol, when you look at it, it's non-stop. It's like an orbit. It shifts like an atom. Why? Because it's ever changing. Before the earth shifts into the new age, into the new times where darkness is being brought to light, it is time for you to start getting acquainted with darkness. Have you not heard the song of Nas and Marley? What does it say? Patience. Can you read stars? Can you what? Can you what? What does he say? Right? Everything you think. Oh man, the lyrics are just crazy. But that song to me stayed with me because you understand that you're going to have to utilize your senses, not your 3D senses, your 4, 5, 6, 7D senses. If you've been developing and working on yourself, the more advanced you're going up in levels, because there are levels to this. Yes, there are many senses. We've been told that we only have 5 senses. Now, if I was to tell you that we have infinite possibilities of senses, you're going to look at me weird. But if I tell you that every and each expressions of billions of people on this earth all have access to a form of expression that is going to be intertwined with the types of subtle senses that each individual holds within their soul signature, then you understand that possibilities are infinity, ever changing, ever evolving. So to go back to my story, this right here, when this happens, the mind and the heart are in alignment because they are vibrating on the highest frequency, which is 144,000 megahertz. What happens? They are in alignment. And then what happens? The sperm hits the egg. And then what happens? There's creation. All types of creation. Because you were vibrating on a frequency that is very high, ultimately you've created something blissful for you because it has started with you. You have started opening up your mind to your heart to your mind. You're talking, the masculine is talking to the feminine is talking to the masculine, and there's constant communication between the two. So me as a woman right now, when I talk to myself in the mirror, I can talk to myself from different angles, depending on what is my goal. So if I want to be in alignment with my masculine, what do I have to do? I have to speak to myself, what I'm feeling. It can be through poetry, it can be through a song, it can be through music, it can be through singing, it can be through writing a book, it can be through whatever. That is your love language, your true love language. I put out a song called Love Language. You have to know what is your love language. And when you know what is your love language, that becomes your non-negotiable. You're going to stand firm on your boundaries. You're going to get the respect, the recognition into that new being or that new truth that you stepped in because you are constantly vibrating like this. That creates light. Have you not seen how the light travels into a light bulb? How does the electricity works? Don't you need like some form of transitor in between? It's like a spiral. Now let me, Bonacci, black kinky hair, plants, a snail, they all swirl like this. They are representative of what? Electricity. It's the flickering of this right here. The heart and the mind. Two poles, one south, one north. And when they are in alignment together, what do? They create seeds. They plant seeds of intentions, but they need to stay and remain in that frequency. So sometimes, because change is different, you know you are worthy of vibrating on that frequency, but sometimes you stay in your head. You're like, what is this one saying? She is mad. She's not happy. She wants me to take her out. This one. What do you want? And then you look at her with disdain. I'm tired of feeling you. I have felt you enough. Bye. This is you staying in your mind. But when you start opening up the communication line with your heart. Hey, heart. How are you feeling today? Oh, baby. I'm feeling so good. Yeah. Oh, baby. Hey, I'm happy to see you. This is you telling this to yourself. Imagine on the mirror. Hey, baby, how you feeling? Oh, I'm happy to see you. Look at you. You're so good. You look good. You smell good. Everything is on point on your body. I love you. This is me speaking to me in the mirror when I need to connect to my heart. There are many ways to do this, but you just gotta discipline yourself into doing it a lot. Some people do it through meditation, but there are many ways to meditate. I say do it through your love language. And we have ultimately infinite possibilities of what a love language can be. You understand? Okay, so that is what Kuan Yin has been saying to you guys. I think we're done with the feminine message for tonight. Yeah. What time is it? 12. Y'all, people. I'm happy you guys are here. If you cannot hear it, you can listen to it in the replay. But y'all know what? Y'all better get acquainted with my messages, because you know what? I'm going to start adding value to this, because you know what? Because I'm worthy of this, baby. So I'm saying nothing. I'm saying everything. I ain't got to hide none. There's nothing to hide. So what is the card saying? Our sacred destiny saying? Miracles. Guys, I ain't playing. I am not playing. Oh. This is the card that came out. Miracles. Look at the rainbows. Miracles are unfolding in your life because you're this. You're vibrating at a frequency of love. And you allow your body to feel everything that you fucking feel. Anger, feel it, accept it, love it, and let it transmute you. And we have many, many ways of doing this with our bodies, with our minds. We're just made different. So miracles are unfolding in our lives. Yes, we accept, we acclaim, we claim this message. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the miracles that are unfolding in my life. Thank you to my divine mother and father who love me unconditionally. Thank you to my divine mother and father who love me unconditionally. Thank you to my divine mother and father and all my spiritual team who are fighting for me, who are making sure that I am safe, I am secure, I am protected, I'm fully protected. A whole universe of life force is protecting me right now. A universe of life force is protecting me right now. A universe of colorful life forces are protecting me right now. Ashe. So, guys, yo, we going in tonight. I didn't expect it to be that long, but we are going in tonight. So what does the tarot saying? Oh my God, guys, yo, 4 of Wands. Wow. 4 of Wands. Look at this. This is the union with self. You are in union with self. I feel like this card speaks of marriage, of union. It can be in the physical because, again, as above, so below. Whatever is happening internally is also happening externally. You can be meeting your soul tribe, friends that are part of your soul tribe. You can be meeting the one that is meant for you to continue the rest of your journey. You can be meeting business partners. You can be meeting your whole soul tribe that are making your dreams come true. Look at this. Look at this. Is the feminine? Look how dark she is. She dark. She blue. She not even dark. She blue. And look at the masculine. And they're coming together. They're coming together. They are celebrating together. That is beautiful, baby. Beautiful, my friend. Oh. And then we got the 5 of Cups. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is in a minute. The 5 of Cups speaks of being defeated, feeling defeated. Look at how she is. Look at how she is. I'm going to tell you exactly what that means in a minute. So 5 of Cups, what else we got? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else we got? Ooh, what is this? Ooh. Oh, my son. The 3 of Cups. This is beautiful. And then what other card we got left? Wow, guys. We got the Ace of Coins. Sorry. Yeah. So my son is gonna wake up in a minute. So let's get to this. Let's get to this. So what's crowning? What's the energy that is crowning? What is? Wow, you guys, we got justice. Justice. Yo, didn't I say adjudication, yo? Wow, we got the 6 of Swords. Yo. Yo. Didn't I spot it out? Number 6 in the angel messages. This is the 6 of Swords, guys. Moving to calmer waters. moving to calmer waters. I'll tell you that in a minute. Let me pull out the cards. My mother and father, thank you so much for that. Wow. We got the world. This is so beautiful. We got the world. The world is at your feet. We got the 3 of coins, 3 of pentacles. You are in perfect alignment. Oof. Yo, this is fire. Wow. Yo, we got coins up in this place. We got pentacles up in this place. We got pentacles up in this place. And we got the Chariot. Wow. So, okay. And we, at the bottom of the deck, we got the 2 of Swords in reverse. Yeah. So the 2 of Swords speaks of confusion. But when it's in reverse, it speaks of clarity. So you guys, let me tell you exactly what I'm seeing. Guys and gals. So a wedding or a union is unfolding in the material world. And you have come to that realization that you are in alignment with all parts of yourself. That is why it is materializing in the 3D reality. You have moved towards it, the 6 of Swords. And as you move towards it, this is what's happening. This is what's happening in the old identity, the old expressions of you, the old self. And when I say the old self, I'm also talking about the old beliefs that you had about yourself. Right? This victim mentality, this lack mentality, this failure mentality. You are moving away from this. This is your past. And your past can translate to relationships, people that used to make you feel those feelings. They are in the past. And they're feeling like this. It can be people, it can be parts of yourself that you have separated from. Okay? And it's very intricate how she's only focused on the 3 cups that are spilt in front of her. But look, she got 2 cups behind. It's like she's crying, but she's crying for nothing. Like she's not seeing what's behind her. Right? She's only focusing on the things that aren't really sustainable to her. Because it's built already. But look, there are 2 behind. When you are in that gratefulness feeling grateful, thankful for all that you are, all that you do, all that you have, all that you think, all that you say, all that you witness, you materialize on all the cups, not only on 3, but those 2 behind. That is why you need to continue being grateful for where you at. Leave the past behind. Focus on what you're grateful for today. And then what we got? The 3 of Cups. You know, when I look at this card and it landed in the Fire Kingdom. So the 3 of Cups in the Fire Kingdom is like passion being reignited. It's like water have come in to like put down the fire because it was burning the soil. And now people are celebrating. They're like, hey, yeah, the fire have gone out. It's the fire kingdom. It's passions. But maybe it was destructive passions. Now it's more healthy passions. It's more sustainable passions. Look how they're sustained on the earth. Look at how they're placing their hands. It's sustainable. It's reflections. They are all reflecting towards one another. And look at the colors. One is red, one is white, one is green. Red, passion. One is white, purity, innocence. And one is green. It's the soil. So when you have passion, the masculine, come in with the soil, the darkness, the feminine, you then create what? Purity, innocence, a baby, a new project, a new idea, a new way of being, a new habit, a new way of seeing things, a new way of literally being your new self. You are in creation. So this is great, you guys. And then look, we got the Ace of Coins that landed in the water kingdom. So basically that Ace of Coins in the water kingdom is like, let's go wherever we want to go. Let's invest in whatever makes us feel good about ourselves. But that's handed to us from the divine. The divine is saying, you're fruitful. Here is your seed. Plant it. It is going to multiply. That means whatever project that has been dormant, whatever idea that you wanted to do for the longest, but you never really thought of doing it because whatever you think you were lacking in, this is the time to plant the seed. This is the time to plant the intention, whether it's alone. But I'm greatly feeling, because there's the Four of Wands, I feel like it's going to be your soul tribe, a community, friends that see eye to eye with you, a partner, a life partner, a relationship, a partnership, a business venture, an idea. Like, it could be anything, because y'all have aligned and come together in union. And the crowning energy is justice. Listen, in 2 hours from now, the moon is going to be going into Libra. Libra speaks about justice. Right now, we are still in Virgo. The moon is transiting Virgo. It's going to transit out of Virgo around 3 o'clock p.m. a.m. 2:30 about. So what does that say? You still have time to look at the nitty-gritty things that you want to let go of. Remember, we're talking about the perfectionist, the mouse. Maybe it's time to look at the bigger picture, the things that you really want to let go of. Whether it was a small habit that you found that, it was stopping you in your tracks. Maybe just sleeping earlier than sleeping later, right? Instead of working out in the morning, you start working out at night, or vice versa. Or you start eating less meat, or you start drinking more chocolate milk, or you start eating more meat, but you incorporate a lot of vegetables so that you can have bowel movements, right? A lot of fibers. Like, you are creating your own balance through your lifestyle. This is the time to do it. If you wanted to do something that you were thinking that you had missed out on, this is the time to. The justice is at your doorstep. It is the crowning energy. We are stepping into Libra in a few hours. But before we step into Libra, you are being asked, because we're still in Virgo, what are the little things that you want to get rid of? Is it the obsessive idea that you're never going to get there? Is it Is it the awesomeness that you have or that you realized about yourself? Like, what is it that you really want to get rid of? Not awesomeness about yourself, but is it a pet peeve? Is it something that you feel, okay, well, I get mad at this time of night because this and this and this and that. Can you change it into wine? Can you feel a high about it? Can you welcome it? Can you embrace it? Can you change it? Alchemize. Justice is here. And not only that, we have a lot of pentacles. So it's materializing. Six of Swords. You have come to calmer waters. You were probably experiencing a lot of difficulty, a lot of challenges. Look at those waters that are still in movement. These ones over here are more quiet. They're more calm. You were feeling shit that you had issues dealing with. But have you done the work to transmute it? Have you expressed all that you wanted to express? Have you shifted your perception? Have you come to calmer waters? You still got time. Taking care of the little details. We're in Virgo season. Well, the moon is transitioning in Virgo. Yes, close it out. The world. Close it out. Close out any ideas in your mind that wants to hold on to that mentality, that lack mentality of not having enough, of not being enough, of being a failure. Let it go. Close out that cycle. That little feeling about you will never do it, you will never get there, you will never do that. Close it. Put an end to it. Say, I know I have closed all karmic cycles that was hindering my soul journey or the alignment of my soul. I release all habits, patterns that were destructive. I release and let go of all feelings of unworthiness. I let them go. I release and I clear and I detach my soul from it. Right? You have to speak it into existence. I fully align with all parts of myself and I let go of what no longer serves me. This is what you're putting an end to. So it's important to know the transits. Because when you know the transits or when you know divination, that's when you are aware of the subtle energies that are being at play in your life. You're not just ignorant. You're utilizing your intuition. You're tapping within. You are being protected. But if you don't know, you have not tapped into your full potential. You're not being creative. You're staying in your mind space. You're not communicating with your heart. It's going to get heftier. It's going to get harder. You're going to feel like you're in hell. Y'all want me to say this? Because cycles are closing. Those that chose to stay in their mind, is like they're going to be separated from their heart. They're not going to be able to come back, or the way back, the communication lines is going to be hard because they chose to stay in their head, refusing to face their emotions, refusing to choose to dance the dance, that frequency, that love frequency, to turn that water into wine, that emotion into a high. Three of Coins. Your three focus, your three focal points. What does the feminine brings? She brings nurturing. She brings sacredness. She brings love. She brings compassion. She brings understanding. She brings patience. These are all the focus that you have to have about yourself right now. The masculine, what does it provide? Safety, security, protection, discipline, consistency, integrity. If you say you've done something wrong, then say it, damn it. Apologize and move on. That is having integrity. That is what the masculine essence of us is requiring for us to be, authentic to ourselves. So if we can be that for ourselves, the feminine, and we can be the masculine for ourselves, healthy, not toxic, healthy, we can then come into this purity, this innocence of creating beautiful things for ourselves. Those are the three focus. When you're focused on where you see yourself, how is the most pure, innocent aspect of me? How does she look like? But she's just not pure. She's also the creation of the masculine right here and the feminine. So she's not just naive. She's very intelligent. That creation is a whirlwind of wisdom, of information that is going to be fruitful and multiply because it was seeded with love and with a structure, a way of life. So that's the 3 of coins. And lastly, we got the Chariot. The Chariot is a representation of the motherly figure, duality, right? You birth everything into creation. You have the choice of birthing this or birthing that. Look at this. I want to show you something. Wow, I've never seen this on the card, but now I'm seeing it. You see how this fish right here is wanting to dive again into the murky waters? Do you see this? He's like going into the murky waters. And look, he has this cord attached to his mouth. So he's ultimately a slave of him right here. Okay? He's ultimately a slave right here. He's riding on both their forces. This fish right here is not looking elsewhere. He's just diving into the murky waters. He's in darkness constantly, and he's not complaining. He's just doing what is demanded out of him. Look at this one. This one is aiming for the light, for the mountain on top of the light. I've never noticed this, but look how he wants to escape and go at the top of the mountain. He wants to be in the presence of the light. That's duality. That's the Chariot. And here is what? It looks like a man that's riding this chariot. But I ultimately want to say it's a woman figure. It's like she's the originator, like she's the one holding both of them, right? She has her sword of truth. She knows where she's going, and she has balanced duality. She knows she's of darkness, she knows she's of light, and she's riding. So the Chariot has different meaning. In this card right here, I feel like it speaks of you have balance between that duality. You understand you're both essences, from the light and of the dark. And you have accepted it. And that is why when you are going into these murky waters, you're cool. You do not feel insecure. You do not feel like you're going to crash. You're feeling secure because you have balanced both duality within yourself. And that is going back to the message of that 4 of Wands, being celebrated for it. So I feel like it's a fast movement. It's still going through emotions. So I feel like it's fast emotions coming in that's going to bring in this this union. Fast emotions, it can be within yourself. You have tapped into a system or a way of nurturing yourself by keeping that focus, those 3 types of focus. So yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful message. You guys, I'm going to close off real soon. I haven't done this. I haven't done it this long ever. So, what is love when you can get it all? What is love when you can be it all? What's in love when you can't have it all? What is love when you when you love you? So let's see. What is the Phoenix trying to tell us? What is the Phoenix trying to tell us? Okay. So the Phoenix is trying to tell us what? Non, ça va. Melky, tu peux aller mettre la lumière dans la chambre pour les gars? La lumière qui tourne? Quand tu as fini? Non, l'allumer. Merci. So the Phoenix is saying it's a good thing for you. C'est une bonne chose pour vous. So the Phoenix is saying that ultimately everything that is happening for you, not to you. Look how the Phoenix is rising higher than these trees. The Phoenix is high above because it understands that it doesn't need the trees to be perched on. Bonne nuit, mon chéri. It understands that it can fly high above and look at the trees, having a bigger perspective. So everything that happens does not happen to you. It happens for you. And I also want to say that, you know, sometimes we can hear that saying that a rejection is a protection. When you're feeling rejected by someone, don't sweat it. It is your protection. Elle est partie. Non, s'il te plaît, mets-lui, parce que tout à l'heure, il s'est réveillé. Allume la lumière dans le couloir. Allume la lumière dans le couloir. Merci. Vas-y, allume la lumière. Et va lui mettre la lumière. Okay, guys, so we're going to finish on the Archangel Michael, and I'm going to log off. I've been on here for the longest. I want to say thank you to all those that are accompanying us, all those that are making sure that we are still standing, that we are in a space of love, we are in a space of compassion, that we do continue to exhale and to tap within and to continue to love on ourselves unconditionally. So we got, oh wow, the King of Pentacles. Your plans are rolling as it should. Success on professional, career, financial, and wise utilization and management of your resources. That's the King of Pentacles. That's like a step further. That's like a step further. Melky? Okay. So what do we got? Mon chéri, maman est occupée. Yes, so trust. Trust, number 5. That is divine authority, divine guidance. La recherche d'un sens à la vie. Cherchez de nouvelles approches. Entourez-vous de guides et d'amis sages. That is you coming into union. That is the divine orchestrating you to come into union, whether it's your soul tribe, friends, new ways of looking at family, new business partners, new everything. That has been instructed by the divine, because you're still holding up the podium. You're still doing the work. Ashe. And then we got Virgo, illumination, Archangel Raziel. Your spiritual growth brings joy. Become a light for others. Meditation offers you answers. So that is a beautiful card saying that you need to continue tapping. You need to continue tapping. Melky? Melky, laisse la lumière allumée, je vais la fermer s'il te plaît.
Comment je vais dormir, moi?
Ferme la porte, c'est tout. And then we got the Page of Cups. New situations, new emotional or affectionate situations. Messages, it can be a call, it can be an invitation, it can be an event, or it can also be revelations. That's your Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael is coming to bring you good news or revelations about yourself. And then we got the choice, Archangel Jophiel. That's your belly chakra or the yellow chakra. It says, free yourself for what blocks you. Need to detoxify. You have unfunded ideas that keeps you stuck and that makes you lose in self-esteem. So you have to make the proper choices. Whatever is keeping you in that state of being, you have to transmute it, like I was saying. And then the 8 of Cups, leaving things behind that no longer serves you. Quelque chose de mieux vous attend. Faites ce que vous savez être bon pour vous. Une quête spirituelle. Look, that's your angel guide saying, hey, let's go. We ready. We ready to go. Are you ready? Yes, let's go. So 8 of Cups, leaving things behind that no longer serves. Yes, so I want to say, is the victory of the mystery. Said is the victory of the mystery. Sad is the victory of mysteries. And when we all fly high. The way it goes, we all fly high. Thank you for everything that was done tonight. Thank you to my spiritual team, my ancestors, earth, air, water, fire, air, royal bloodline, intergalactic, karmic. We say thank you for coming through always. So that was the expensive message for tonight's show. I hope it was really entertaining. Keep on expanding your masculine, right? You are forever expanding. and keep on loving on yourself as well. So we'll see you soon. Take care of your minds, your hearts, and your entire being. We are shutting it down.